In this video I'm going to talk about tonic herbs for raising consciousness. Now, when people get into this arena of growing their awareness, growing their consciousness, there's a lot of modalities that one can take. Meditation and yoga are essential disciplines, practices to have somewhere in the equation. Others come at it from taking drugs, illegal or legal. And ultimately, I think doing these very harsh and aggressive drug-like entheogenic psychedelic substances for some people can be healing and can be beneficial, but obviously A, it's illegal, B, it's in most cases removed from its cultural and historical context, so it's kind of perverted in that sense, and 3, it's very intense and very jarring and very depleting to the nervous system and to the body. Because really how these drugs work is that you're getting a rush of jing, or you're pulling some energy from your battery pack and tapping into your deep foundational essence and just getting a big burn of it, a big release of it. So your body just experiences this huge wave and growth and this huge intense rush of energy, but ultimately that's not sustaining. So for those of us who are interested in sustainability, something that's realistic and practical and balanced and actually healthy and not depleting to the body, it actually builds up the body and contributes to health and longevity and real happiness and fulfillment, the tonic herbs are really the most ideal path for that. In conjunction with, of course, personal development, working on yourself, whatever your strategy is, having a physical discipline, whatever that is. The tonic herbs are really the ancient, forgotten secret in a way, because the Hindu culture, the yogis, they had their herbs, they had their special tonic herbs, and we've kind of forgotten that. And in China, the Taoist monks, the sages, the kings, the queens, the noblemen, they had their tonic herbs. The special herbs that they took to raise their awareness, to open their heart, to open their higher chakras, to enhance their creativity and energetics and clear blockages from their system. But somehow in translation we forgot all of that. So people nowadays walk into yoga ashrams, yoga schools, whatever, and there's no mention of these substances, when I think, at least theoretically back in the day, if you were going to really go for it and really take that path, those things would be essential, because working on the body, you can work on the more subtle things, and of course working on the subtle things, you can work on the body. But what makes the tonic herbs so profound in this arena is that they work on you and clear imbalances, clear blockages, and specifically the Shen tonic herbs, the herbs that work on the consciousness, the spirit, the nervous system, the emotions, and the mental faculties, can actually burn karma and actually cleanse your aura, to look at it from a metaphysical point of view. So if you have bad karma or negative thought patterns, it can help you to shift and let go of those things in the quickest, easiest, most direct way. And usually this manifests in dreams or in unconscious or experiences in meditation, things like that, so your mind can process these things and deal with them and not have to go through the physical journey. Because it's much easier to deal with an intense thing in a dream, to where no one's harmed and you're not harmed and there's no resources wasted, rather than having to go through the arduous journey here in this physical world, where there's other people with emotions and other souls and other things that we have to use and use up to actually sustain this dimension. So the top herbs, in my opinion, in my experience, in my research, are a mixture of both the Ayurvedic, the Indian, and most importantly the Chinese tonic herbs. I think first and foremost, the top of the top herbs for developing and growing your consciousness would be reishi. Reishi has been the mushroom of immortality, spiritual longevity, good fortune for thousands of years. It's been the literal symbol for longevity and good health and good fortune and spiritual growth. It's called, the 10,000-year mushroom of immortality, God's herb, spirit herb. The list goes on and on and on. It's very revered for these. Of course, it's all of its physical, miraculous benefits, but it's more its benefits to work on the non-physical. Second would be an herb like Gotu Kola, which helps to basically nourish and open the higher chakras, the pineal and pituitary, so 6 and 7, as well as balancing the left and right hemispheres, as well as it being a nootropic, which means that it enhances cerebral circulation, aiding in concentration, intelligence, focus, and also the ability to concentrate and focus and think clearly, which is really how true insight will develop. And not through having your mind going all over the place and being, stimulated, but through allowing your mind to settle down and be quiet and actually focus on something and have some real depth. Because ultimately, you can, I think William Blake said you can see infinity in a grain of sand. And if you have the right concentration, if your mentality is correct, you can see the deepest, most hidden occult spiritual teachings in anything. It just depends on where your mind is at and how calm and how focused you are. There's some sages that all they see are the 5 elements. All they see are Tao, Yin, Yang, the 5 elements, 4 forces, and then the 8 trigrams. That's all they see. They don't see people or nouns or verbs or any of those things. They only see those things. It's because their mind is calm and it's at a deep, deep level. Kind of like you have your computer, and if you were to, skip all of the software and just get down to the basic hardware of the computer, that's where these guys, that's where these highly evolved beings are operating at. Because that's ultimately where truth resides, is at this foundational level. So, holy basil is also a great herb for doing this, hence the name holy basil. It's a very revered herb in Ayurveda. So those are my top 3. Those are my top 3 favorite ones for solely working on the subtle, more etheric levels.